26. That's right. This is the 26th entry in the weekly podcast here on youtube.com/fanatixfour, soundcloud.com/fanatixfour, other services where podcasts freaking service
Spotify.
And not Spotify. We don't know how long that's going to go on. It's going to be kind of sad when that gag becomes no longer a thing.
Yeah, when it just dies. We're supposed to hear something about that. I think this month. They said it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. I think I already explained it. I'm not explaining it again. It's a whole thing.
Right. If you want to hear that, listen to our older episodes and you'll
listen to all 26 or whatever.
Right. Yeah. You'll know what the deal is for that. But speaking of what's the deal with that, what's the deal with you? What's been going on this week?
A whole bunch of nonsense. First, I thought my mic wasn't working, so that's why I had the headphones on in my latest video.
Right.
I fixed it though; it's working now. Now my Wi-Fi's not working, so that's happening. Other than that, I've been playing a lot of Mario Tennis Aces. That's pretty much the only game that I've been playing. Every time I turn my Switch on, I tried playing Splatoon for a little bit. I was like, I'm gonna play Mario Tennis Aces. So I've been playing a lot of that. I'm waiting on Captain Toad. Just got a email from Mr. Nintendo or Mrs. Nintendo in our case. Supposed to be getting that, so that should be fun. I missed that game on Wii U. Did you play that on Wii U?
No, I did not. Nope. That's another one I missed.
That's one of the mini games that you skipped.
Right. Yeah. One of the numerous titles for the Wii U that I skipped, but it's all right because had I known that they were going to see, now it seems like my reason for skipping was like valid, but at the time it was like,
I know that they're going to remaster this on their
right, exactly.
I'm sure that's fine.
Right, exactly. See, this is a method to my madness all along. I knew. No, but yeah, it's freaking. It's like no, you didn't. You just neglecting these games.
Oh, so that means Pikmin 3 is confirmed, everybody. Pikmin 3 is coming out on Switch.
Right, yeah. Every freaking
Mario 3D World.
That's right. Every game that I neglected on the Wii U is going to be reimagined and put out on the Switch. That's right.
You didn't get Mario Maker? No, you didn't get.
No, I didn't get that. That one, like out of all of them, like that sounds like that just needs to be a thing. Because like it's just like why not?
If that's not a thing, I think Bob's going to spiral into a deep, dark depression. Speaking of that, so he listened to our podcast last week, and he was upset about the Smash Brothers thing, and I stand by it about the him beating me with Pichu thing because he was like excited. Yeah. He was so excited about that. Who gets excited about that? And then he was like, oh, I was under the assumption that this was a serious match. You chose him. You picked Pichu. We're on Big Blue playing a 4-player match. How serious? Like, you can't possibly think that that's serious. But I digress.
Exactly.
We'll settle it in Smash trademark. 2014, 15, whenever that game came out. We'll see. We'll see when it. See, I said, and like I said, I was gonna stick to the whole thing of like I'll try to, even though now we know that I can't do that, but I wanted to do the first match against him with Pichu to get Pichu's redemption. But we can't because you don't have Pichu at like out of the box. You got to unlock.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
But he was like, no, I want you at your best. So let it be known that Bob said he wants me at my best. So when I pick my best character, I don't want to hear it.
Oh man, that's gonna be a straight massacre. Cause like I play Smash Bros. Like pretty more frequent than you do, more frequent. And when we played on stream last time, it's close. You know, the
I haven't played. I legit haven't played. I'm going to start trying to play it more now that I have my Wii U back. I haven't like played Smash Brothers consistently in at least 2 years. But I mean, again, that's just the facts of it all. I'm still very confident. I could not touch it again until it comes out and still beat Bob. Like I already I'm pretty confident in my skill like Smash 4. I'm cemented in this version, but Ultimate I don't know. So it's like there's a whole bunch of mechanics that are different. I mean it looks pretty similar. It wasn't like I didn't like pick up Smash 4 after playing Brawl pretty consistently, and it didn't feel like foreign. It was like, oh, this is Smash Brothers. I think Ultimate is going to be even more comfortable because it very much so is Smash 4, but tweaks here and there. where it's like, oh, now perfect shielding's different and the pacing sped up a little bit and stuff. But it's not like it's not like from the original Smash Brothers to Melee types of changes. You know?
Yeah,
like,
that.
Now I got to get used to rolling, and I got to get. Wait, could you roll? No, I don't think you can roll in the first.
Nope.
Now I got to learn how to air dodge and all this other nonsense. I got to the wave dash.
That's true. There won't be a jump like that again ever for Smash. That's just So be grateful for that. You know, you guys out there that are Smash 4 experts. You know, you don't have to ever worry about your skill becoming like, deteriorating.
There will be plenty of Smash 4 like pro gamers that are like, I hate Smash for Smash Ultimate because they changed blah blah blah, and now the game is terrible. It's like that. Always happens.
You know that's gonna exist. It's like of course it is. Right. Exactly. And speaking of inevitability. the fate of the Amiibo, it's down the drain. The Amiibo, it just.
I don't know if it is though, because Amiibo, like the thing that's weird about Amiibo is they were never like just like the existence of them wasn't like this guaranteed thing of like every Amiibo that comes out is going to like sell like hotcakes or whatever, right? Like it always needed to be tied to like a really big property. Like even like the Super Mario Amiibo, right? They didn't even fly off the shelves, but the Amiibo that did were Smash Brothers because it's like, oh man, I gotta have all these characters because like and like in this iconic style and this really big video game and stuff like that. And I think the Breath of the Wild ones did pretty well. And that's because they at least did something in the game, right? That was of note. I think the key to a successful Amiibo line is a property that people care about, but for a game like and like have it attached to a game that is good and that people are playing. So like people care about Animal Crossing. I wouldn't say people care about like all Animal Crossing, like Mabel or whatever, like they don't care about every character. Maybe Tom Nook and KK Slider or whatever, right? Like they care about like certain like really iconic, like Isabelle and all that stuff. They don't care about like the random animal buddies and stuff that is like, oh yeah, Tom Nook's kids or whatever. Like they don't care about that.
Yeah.
And on top of that, it was associated with an awful game being Amiibo Festival. So it's like, I think that Amiibo could potentially still have a future, but it's a very like few and far between sort of release schedule thing that I think that they can matter. Like, and these verticals of like Amiibo that I think are like could sell well are pretty big and broad, but there is just like that wouldn't be something that you can release all the time and just have a new Amiibo
you're not going to get a continuous stream of consistency with this type of thing. It's like there's only like you said, there's only specific like franchise or IPs, and even at that point, like characters that have that kind of pull where it's like, okay, like this does this, and I mean, yeah, it has the collectible factor, but like you said, there's certain characters that you just don't care about. Like I don't care what they do. I'm not getting a Slippy Amiibo. I'm just not getting.
I think you would. If it was like, oh, you get the indestructible Air Wing or R Wing or whatever.
If they incentivize it like that, I'm like, all right, I guess I'll get it. But
meanwhile, it's your favorite Amiibo. You have it on a pedestal. But no, I think like the only other franchise. Well, maybe there's two. There's two that I think that they could possibly do, and this is only if they like differentiate it enough and make the like what the Amiibo do worthwhile. The first being, I'm going to go from less obvious to most obvious, or most like, duh, you should obviously do this. Mario Kart. I think Mario Kart could be interesting, especially if they end up going more and more in the like Nintendo Kart route.
Haven't they didn't use Amiibo for Mario Kart yet?
They did, but they don't have Mario Kart Amiibo. And I'm saying,
if they did Mario Kart 9, say,
And they had a Mario amiibo, but he's in the cart, you know, and it's a like different pose, and it does a different thing in, or like a specific different thing in Mario Kart. Like, you know, there's variations of Mario, but it's still ultimately Mario. So like you can still use this Mario Kart amiibo in other games, and it recognizes it as Mario. But like a Mario Maker, rather than it just being Mario, it's Mario inside of his cart, you know, stuff like that. And in Mario Kart, it's like whatever the like thing that you unlock, whether it be like, oh, it's Mario's gold cart, or it's like some type of custom thing that's not like inherently better, but like custom in some way, or not custom, but like unique to people with the amiibo. So not pay to win, but pay to look cool, like amiibo generally are. The other thing that I think is more obvious that it's like Nintendo, why aren't you doing this, is Pokemon. Like Pokemon is like
that right there. That right there is like, that's a huge missed opportunity. Like that is like, why?
That's Smash Brothers level of monetization, where it's like on Smash Brothers, even like, they're probably going to like remonetize the amiibo that we already got, the 40 or what, like 50, 52, 53 or something like that amiibo that we already got for the original batch. Then they're going to add on to it, like they confirmed that we're getting the rest of the amiibo, so like Ice Climber and Pokemon Trainer and Snake. Like, and all
honestly, I think you might agree on this. I feel like Pokemon should have been the rollout for amiibo. Like, Smash is cool and everything, but Pokemon already has that gotta catch them all thing.
The thing is, like, they kind of were. They were the rollout for the NFC reader thing, because they had the Pokemon, like the Pocket Rumble game or whatever, and they had their own like custom thing, whereas they weren't amiibo, but they were kind of like, they were like the precursor to amiibo. I mean, they didn't work as well. I think that a big reason for that is because it's not Pokemon, you know. It's like
exactly
how likely would you be to buy a Pokemon game that looks like Pokemon Quest, right? Like, but if it's like a full on, like, and it looks like in the style of Pokemon and stuff like that, I think people would be more likely to buy that. And I don't even know, like, maybe the Pokemon Rumble like figurine things, they're not amiibo, but they're kind of like amiibo. Maybe they did sell well, I don't know. But I think that amiibo have a better chance if they position them better. And maybe some Pokemon you couldn't necessarily say like, oh, here's a Coffee Grigus amiibo and it's $12. You know, like, so many people don't know or care who Coffee Grigus is, right? Like, but if you bundle him in with a Gengar, and you know, like, it's like Pokemon that are like, you bundle in the newer ones that not as many people care about with, like, which I don't want to insult Gengar by this comparison. I don't think that he's B tier, but if you bundle in a B tier Pokemon with like a D-list Pokemon, then it's like, then it kind of like evens it out. It's like, okay, then we'll charge, rather than $12, we'll charge $20 for this pack of 2, you know? So it's like stuff like that, or even more, like the starter pack and the starters are $25 or whatever, and like for all 3 starters. Maybe they don't do, like that, or maybe they bundle in evolutionary lines and stuff like that. You know, like it's just like finding something cool for them to do. Like, maybe that's where customization of like Pokemon come in, where it's like, because you know, they're kind of like toying around with it with Pokemon Let's Go. With like the Pikachu and the Eevee specifically, where it's like they're putting all this attention to detail for like these 2 Pokemon, and that's it. But if they have financial incentive to say like, oh, you have this Totodile amiibo, all right, you unlock his hat and his fedora, like, and his tuxedo and his shoes, or whatever, you know, or just unlock the ability to buy his clothes. I think that would be a good way to go about doing it. Maybe some type of like the variation on like their attack animations or something like that, like something cosmetic but cool,
but also adding to, you know, giving you I'm not even going to say it, but just giving you something else that's like, you know, it's yes, it's cosmetic, you have this effect, you have as far as like, you know, just this looks awesome, but also you know, giving some like a little bit of like kind of like the money, you know, that you were given by I'm like not even an edge, but just, you know, cool like
I don't think that it should give you a multiplayer edge. I don't think anything that it does should help you do better in like battles with other like humans.
Right.
But I think that like again, like the bragging rights sort of thing of like I have this my Totodile is in a lore ball and you can't get that because you don't have the amiibo. You know, it's like stuff like that.
Right.
I think would be cool. And I mean, a lot of people, just like Smash Brothers, so many people that bought the Smash Brothers amiibo never actually used them as amiibo. They just look cool, so they bought them. You know, it's like, and
right, exactly.
there's not that much or that many Pokemon not Pokemon, but Nintendo official like certified licensed like toys. So amiibo's like the closest thing we're gonna get. Or that we have gotten or do get, because there are like the Jack Specifics toys and all that crap, and like a Nendoroid here and there, but like these are like mass produced $12 toys rather than like $50, $100, $200 statues somewhere, or like the low quality like the Jack Specifics toys.
Yeah, this is. Yeah, and then it's almost like a no brainer at this point. It's like why not? Like why isn't this? Like, why aren't you guys working on this already? Like, why isn't this a thing? As far as like, this should be number one priority. You know, with that this should have been the direction that was taken with the amiibo.
Yeah, what happened to the R-Wing amiibo? What happened to that?
Because it just works so well. It works so well. Like, Pokemon's the perfect IP to use these for. Yeah, so
I guess that in a way, like Starlink is trying to keep that alive, but it's not really. Starlink's not. It's not an amiibo, you know. Like you got to have a whole other thing to use that. It's not like you don't just put it on the Joy-Con and it's in there or whatever. Like it's not the same thing. It's just a whole nother line of toys that you got to get and stuff like that. And I mean, I have a few amiibo, but like I'm somewhere in the middle. You know, like I'm not like super amiibo fan, but I'm not like casual. I just got one amiibo. I have like 10 amiibo or something like that.
Right.
But I didn't go like deep like I was originally planning to, because I was like when I was like in the amiibo like trenches when I had my own place, I just didn't have as much space. So it's like I'm just gonna buy like this many because I don't want to like have them all over the place. I'm just gonna get the ones that I really really care about. But yeah, now I'm at the point where it's just like I don't really want to. I mean, I don't know. I'm all over the place with it because it's like for newer amiibo, I think we might be able to. We might be able to get Nintendo to send but for like the older amiibo, it's like I don't know.
I think it'd be cool for like a decorative set, you know, like just like on set type of thing. But like other than like and that like that pretty much be it. But it's like I have a few, not a whole lot. Not like
because I remember like when Smash Brothers first came out, you literally were like you got one amiibo and you're like, nah, I gotta get this one too. So you like went to the store that day and got like I think you just got like Fox or something, and then you went back to the store because you started using Yoshi or something, some crap like that. Like, it's like what? Like you were in deeper than I was. I had I have multiple amiibo because of like I got stuff like I got like the mains that I have like in Smash Bros like Charizard and I didn't end up getting Little Mac. But I have a few like Smash Bros amiibo, and then I have the set of the Splatoon amiibo, and then I have Shovel Knight. So I got like the special ones here and there. I didn't really go in deep with Smash Brothers. I just got a couple of characters that I really like using. I didn't do the whole thing of like I gotta complete this set. I gotta buy $500 worth of amiibo. Like
that's crazy. Yeah. I get like just the ones I'm like okay. I need Fox. I need Mario. I like Greninja a lot. Yeah, like that type of thing where it's like okay, these are ones I keep in rotation. I might as well get a amiibo of these. But yeah, I could definitely see how like somebody who is really as a fan of Pokemon that might see like I want this. I want these cool
I would do that. See, I didn't fall down the rabbit hole with Smash Brothers or Splatoon. But I will 100% fall down the rabbit hole with Pokemon, which is even more dangerous. I know I just said that like, oh, spend $400 on me. This is we're talking thousands with Pokemon because it's like what by the time Gen 8 comes out, it's gonna be like at least 900 something Pokemon. So it's like 900 Pokemon if all of them like. Which that's not feasible for them to do this.
Oh, not at all.
If all of them were individual, like they're not going to do that. Like that's ridiculous. But like even like conservatively being like, okay, maybe they'll bundle most of them in. Like that's still like 300 like SKUs of amiibo.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's ridiculous.
So like, That's the only real thing that's like, I don't know how they would do that. I mean,
parents would be like, "What do you want me to get you?"
You want phase 1 of the Pokemon Amiibo? What do you want Gen 1? Or that's
right,
how many
exactly.
Amiibo? You know, like stuff like that. Like what? Which I mean, maybe that's an easier way to do it. Like if they dole them out as like Gen 1, Gen 2, blah blah, and then they like release them as evolutionary lines. But then it gets muddied because it's like, okay, if we do Gen 1 and we do the evolutionary lines, does that mean you get Raichu and Pichu? Or does that mean that you get Raichu and Pikachu? Or does that mean that you get Raichu, Pikachu, and Pichu? Like, I don't
exactly.
know. And
at that point, it's like how do you price that out? Like, how do you, like, what do you put that at?
Yeah, because it's like maybe they do like Raichu and Pikachu, and then it's like the evolutionary line for like one stage Pokemon where it's like they only evolve once. Maybe those are $15 or whatever, right? And then like the two stage Pokemon, like 2-stage evolutions like Charizard and all that stuff, maybe they're $25 or whatever. Well, that's a huge price hike, but like $22 or something like that, you know. I think like the Splatoon Amiibo are like $30, so like maybe that's what they would do. Yeah, like the not like each individual one, but like the pack that I got with the 3, I think it was like $30. It was like $30.
I was about to say, what the heck is that?
No, not just for one. Not just for one. I mean, granted, they have gotten there, you know, where it's like when I went to Too Many Games a couple weeks ago, right? I was looking at the Amiibo and I was like, oh, how much are these Amiibo? He's like, oh, yeah, it depends. This one's like $50. Like, you're crazy. Like, you're insane. I was spending $50 on an Amiibo.
Right.
I mean, granted, I know a lot of people have, because like they're rare at this point. Well, a lot of them are. I don't think they will be pretty soon because they're gonna like restock a lot of them, but yeah. At the end of the day, I can't see Amiibo, like I don't think Amiibo will ever really get to the heights that they were at originally, where it's like for like when the Jigglypuff Amiibo came out and it was like exclusive to Target, it like shut down their website, you know, like that's not gonna happen anymore, I don't think. But I do think that they're like sustainable as like these tentpole things for specific series.
But that's our thoughts. But we want to see what you guys. Let's see what you guys are thinking about these whole Amiibo and what's going to happen with. So we're gonna get into some of these comments here in the YouTube community, and
one comment. You play.
No, come on, guys, come on. Add your thoughts.
No, just for this specifically, because it's like this comment kind of made me want to do the topic overall. When I was like pulling the show together.
So Penguin Explosion 89, interesting name, says I rather directly to you stay on this channel. What do you think about the future?
Context on that, for context on that, I did a poll along with like pulling the stuff for the like the Q&A and all that. Where I'm trying to figure out if people would rather this show stay on the YouTube channel, be taken off of YouTube altogether and just be on podcast services, or if we do a dedicated channel to just directly to you, because we have a lot of subscriber bleed because of directly to you. Like a lot of subscribers that we lose, it happens when directly to you gets posted, because it's like a lot of people are like expecting, oh, new upload, blah blah blah. It's an hour long, you know. It's like, oh, it's not the show that I subscribe for. Maybe they stop making it or whatever, unsubscribe, you know, stuff like that. Granted, I don't want to like cater to like behavior like that, where it's like I'm unhappy with the status quo right now, unsubscribe, you know. But at the same time, it's like I do understand on a certain level you subscribe for the content that you subscribed for. So like when you subscribe, you're like, I like Action Point, subscribe, and that's what you want to see. So like if your feed is like, and especially knowing YouTube, you know, like for all we know, that's all that could be in their feed is just directly to you, like pops up in their in their subscription feed, and they don't get our action points. So they're like, oh, well, they're just making this podcast now. But if we move that channel to something, move that content to a channel specifically for it, and it's still like same day, same time, all that stuff, the podcast service stuff, like people that listen on like Google Play and all that stuff, that won't be affected. But if we move it over, because like either way, we're going to keep doing the show. Like we're not going to stop doing the show because a lot of people like it. I like doing it. It's pretty easy to do. It's fun to do.
Right.
But I don't want to like keep doing it on a channel if people don't want to watch it there, and especially if it's hurting the channel, you know.
Right. I mean, it sounds like it'd just be an easier way to funnel these things, and it's like people would still get the service and they still get the show, but it would just be an easier way to, if directly where to go for it. It sounds like it'd be a little bit easier.
Right, and I think that it would be easier for the podcast itself to grow if it was on its own channel, because again, like the messaging isn't muddied. It's not like, oh, we also do this on this channel. It's like, no, this is what this channel is for, and this is what this channel is for.
Right, this is what you're coming for. You know what you're gonna get. You know what to expect, and you can tune into it every Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern time. Right. So yeah, I mean, I think it makes sense. Yeah, but this person, Penguin, huh?
So I just want to say, let us know in the comments how you feel about that. I think that I'm probably going to do it. I'm probably going to move it over to a different channel. And like you'll still be notified and stuff like that, because I'll still like post when we post on that channel on the community tab or whatever. Like, hey, we posted a podcast or whatever. So you'll know. But I mean, I just want to like give you guys a heads up on that. So when we do, we'll probably do like the last episode that we do, and then do it on here and say, hey, this is the last episode. Here's the channel to subscribe to. Go subscribe to that if you want to watch this podcast still. So heads up on that. I'll let you know.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. I feel like it's a lot more clean. Plus, it'll help just overall like the viewership, like just like the views and how like the channel looks. But yeah, but they go on to say, what do you think about the future of Nintendo's what's it? Little side projects for Labo and Amiibo? Personally, I think Labo. Personally, I think Labo, because of the lackluster sales, will continue for a bit. But if sales don't pick up, it will be dropped. On the other hand, I think Amiibo is safe, as the sales numbers for them are pretty great.
I think that it's too early to say the sales numbers for Labo are lackluster, because it's very much so like a kid's product, and a lot of sales for kids products happen at Christmas, especially something that's it's such a middle ground thing, like it's not a console, but it's not a game per se, unless you're getting the variety pack or whatever. But it's like, it's not priced like a game is. So it's not as much of an impulse buy of like, oh yeah, this new game's out, buying it day one,
Right.
So I think that we'll know the fate of Labo, for sure. I'd say by this time next year, we'll know whether or not it's dead. Because like according to Nintendo, it's doing what they thought it would, and they're happy with the results that they're getting. Right. And they apparently still have more plans for it, like with the Mario Kart 8 announcement thing or whatever. Like, and they said that with that, when they announced that integration with Labo and Mario Kart 8, that they plan to do that with more games, which a lot of people were speculating even before that Yoshi would use Labo, and maybe that's why Yoshi's delayed, because they wanted to like rework it so that it really works well with Labo. So I think that like it's too early to say whether or not that's going to die.
I feel like because when did that come out? Like this a few months ago, right?
Yeah, like what month was it? It's like April or something like that. Yeah, April 20th.
Yeah, let's let it go through a holiday season, and then we'll see. Like I feel like that would probably people I think sales will pick up after that, and then like you said, like next year we'll know for sure. Like, okay, these aren't the needle's really not moving on this thing. So, but if Nintendo's happy with it, then who would you say?
Yeah, it's like, and who knows what their expectations really were for it? We don't know if they were like, it's gonna be Wii, it's gonna sell.
Right.
Day one.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Not every project, not everything is the same. It's like this isn't that. It's not like this has to be like a out of the park thing. This is what we're projecting, and this is what we hit. Okay, we're happy with that. And that's what it sounds like to me. That's what it sounds like.
The other thing is like, and I think they touched on this a little bit with their like, because a lot of people are asking them like, is Labo performing to your expectations? Which is a nice way of saying it's not really doing that great. Are you going to pull the plug on this? And Nintendo's like, yeah, we have like, they're talking about how they have like partners with like, they're partnering with schools and stuff like that, which like there's big money in that. Like Apple, for instance, right? Like they don't sell computers like Like, or they're not making like Microsoft money on the Mac line, right? From users, but they have partnerships with like educators and like colleges and stuff like that, and they buy a whole bunch of computers in bulk, and that's like hundreds of thousands of dollars for these computers. They could very well have some type of like, I mean, and not to say it's at the scale of an Apple situation, but they could easily be like, okay, yeah, you got a preschool or a daycare or whatever, buy a couple Labo sets for $500 or whatever, right? And that's sales that they wouldn't have got otherwise. And they're able to use that for publicity and say, yeah, we're helping your kids develop, you know, like.
Right, exactly.
Plus, that makes the kid want to say, "Mom, I played with this really cool thing at school today. Can you buy it?" You know.
Right, exactly, and I think that'll work out well. Speaking of working out well, will be N64 remasters on the Switch. So yeah, like what do you think about the my video for this week? Are there any games that you would have added? I know you're not really a fan of N64. But are there any games?
I was literally about to say N64 is trash. Give me a new Pokemon Stadium too. Let me get one of those.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Pokemon Snap can die in a fire. Or they can put Pokemon Snap in another Pokemon game. Like, I don't need a full game of that, right? Like,
exactly.
If they're going to do Pokemon Snap again, put it on mobile or something like that.
I was just thinking that. As like that like modern, that would be perfect for mobile.
Yeah,
like, a full game of that. Just,
integrate it with Instagram. Put it on mobile. Matter of fact, we already have that. Pokemon Go is already Pokemon Snap. Deal with it.
Or Hey You Pikachu on freaking mobile or something. I don't
know. But yeah, no. There's not that many N64 games that I care about because most of them are trash. The 2D ones are good. And some like I think somebody said something about like Smash Brothers or whatever. But like, really, Smash Brothers. We don't need Smash Brothers remaster. Like Smash Brothers Ultimate and Smash Brothers remade or remaster. It's all
right. Yeah. A lot of times, like when I was going into this video or just like scripting and everything like that, thinking of like titles to pick, I was just like, well, a lot of these things are, I think even Justin, shout out to Justin, what he said was like that. It was spot on. Like a lot of these games we have better versions now, so it's like why even bother? That's why I touched on the Donkey Kong and things of that nature.
Yeah. Like that's a really good one. Like I would say that the Donkey Kong pick's probably the best one on that list.
Right.
Because the rest of them, like F-Zero, right? Like the best F-Zero game I would say is made by Sega, and that's on GameCube.
Right.
Let's see. Mario 64. We already got Odyssey. Odyssey's pretty much like N64. It is a Mario 64 remaster, more or less, right?
Right.
What was the other thing? You said
it was
I know you said. Did you say something about Star Fox in there? Because somebody got mad about that.
Well, toward the end, I mentioned why I didn't add that on there.
Yeah.
But I had it was.
But Star Fox been remastered to death. We got Star Fox 64 HD 2 years ago, and it didn't do well.
Right, exactly.
Well, granted, the controls and all that crap, whatever. But,
right. Bomberman 64. That Bomberman I mentioned.
Bomberman 64. But Bomberman's not a Nintendo thing, so I don't like that. That's not really something that it's like. I'm like, oh man, I hope we get that. Right. Plus, Bob likes Bomberman R. And Bob's the authority on everything that's good.
Right, yeah, he's oh, jeez.
No, Bomberman R is it's not bad, but it's not worth buying. I feel like I got it with GameFly, and we streamed it a few times. And granted, like we didn't we didn't even set out to stream it. Like Bomberman is not that type of game where it's like, man, like we're gonna stream Bomberman R. It was like we're streaming Mario Kart, but we got to download it.
That has to be like one of our new like review tiers. Like we're reviewing a game or something like that. Like it's good, but it's not worth buying.
Yeah.
You heard it. Episode 26. You heard it here first. That's funny. Yeah, that's definitely gotta be one. But yeah, it's just like that was the main thing. It's like, yeah, Star Fox is done to death. I don't want to see. I don't want Star Fox 64. It's like, in retrospect, it's not a good game to base the whole entire series off of.
Did I not? Wait. Did I not put? I don't think I put Star Fox Adventure in my GameCube video. Did I?
No,
I don't think I did.
I don't think you did.
Oh man, that's
wait. Did you put Assault in there? I think you put
I don't think I did. I might have put something Star Fox. Somebody let me know.
Right, exactly.
But yeah, if I didn't, I'm making GameCube Remasters Part 2. No, we got to do Game Boy next.
Good idea.
Yeah, and I'm gonna like merge Game Boy Advance and Game Boy together. Because I mean, why not?
Because exactly. I was gonna say, like, they're pretty similar. Speaking of pretty similar, these comments.
What?
I don't even know. Bad segues all. Speaking of bad segue, no. But do you have anything to add before I get into these comments? All right, Cyan. The GameCube games. What?
I don't know. He used a big boy word.
All right. Super Anyway, the N64 ones. In my opinion, Sunshine and Star Fox Assault were arguably better than 64. Thousand Year Door and F-Zero GX are objectively better than the old counterparts. And Donkey Kong 64 is just terrible. Not because it is different, but because it is bad.
How dare you?
That's funny. Well, yeah.
No.
Yeah,
well, continue reading it. Just read the comment. I was gonna like. Just read the rest of the comment, and we'll respond to it when it's done.
There was no point, outside of nostalgia, to remake N64 ones. You say that Ocarina of Time shouldn't be ported to the Switch because Breath of the Wild, despite being completely different games, while suggesting that Mario 64, a game that is more similar to Odyssey than Ocarina of Time, is to Breath of the Wild, but worse in every way, should be ported. Okay, so I kind of want to like break.
Okay. So the thing that stuck out to me and why I interrupted or started to interrupt is the reason why you said to do Donkey Kong 64 is because it is not terrible, but not what it could have been. So you want to give it another shot at bat and say, okay, this concept has potential. A 3D Donkey Kong game has potential. Do it right this time.
Yeah, it's nothing.
Not this game is so good that we need to make it again.
Right,
exactly. That's not why every remaster exists. Like they didn't do that. That wasn't the whole reason of like why they did Wind Waker HD. It's like, yeah, this game's good and we want it again, but we also want to fix a few flaws that we had there. You know, like do the same thing with those games. I don't think that Ocarina of Time is needed to port because we have a better version of that thing, and there wasn't the people that like Ocarina of Time didn't like it. It's not a thing of like, oh man, if only it was this. Also, we just got a remaster for that on 3DS. Right. Like I know a lot of people were bringing up like, didn't we just get Mario 64 on DS? That was 13 years ago.
Right, exactly. That was a very, very long time ago.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to touch on when he said the GameCube games, you know, yes, I agree, but this is an N64 video. it's not about GameCube, right? So yeah, I agree on the Sunshine and Star Fox Assault. I agree with that. I agree with that point. But this is about the N64. No one's here. We're not debating that. Obvious, you know, it's like I'm pretty sure a majority of people are going to say Sunshine or these other games are better than. Like, of course, I'm picking Assault over Star Fox 64. Freaking. Any day out of the week.
But I think a lot of the examples that he gave, with the exception of, I mean, well, the ones that he said objectively, with the exception of wait. Oh no, he said arguably for Assault and what was the other
Sunshine.
Sunshine. Arguably, I think that's a very unpopular opinion. I agree with it, but I don't think that most people agree that Star Fox Assault is better than Star Fox 64 or any Star Fox game for that matter, other than like, or any, because most people, like, if we're going by Metacritic and stuff like that, like they say Adventure's better, you know? So I don't even know if you could even argue that with most people. Like I said, I agree personally, but I don't think that's not the aim of the video. It's not, these games are so good, we want to make them again. It's these games have so much potential, and I like them at the time, but in retrospect, they're kind of bad. Let's bring them up to modern day standards.
Also, I want to touch on when he brought up the comparison between the contrast between Mario 64 and versus Odyssey to Breath of the Wild and Ocarina of Time, saying that 64 was more similar to Odyssey in as far as I feel like, and then talking about how bad Ocarina of Time was to Breath of the Wild. It's a far better game. Of course, Breath of the Wild is a way better game than Ocarina of Time. No one's here to argue that. When you say that 64 is more similar to Odyssey, what way do you mean? Because yes, Odyssey has themes of 64, and Odyssey's way better than 64. It's a way better game. Those games are
I don't think that. I think what he's saying is you're saying you want Donkey Kong 64 to be ported, and it's a bad game, but don't want good games like Ocarina of Time and Mario 64 to be ported because there's better versions of it. And I think that that's less a case of him being wrong per se, and him not understanding what you were saying. Where it's
exactly. Like
you are saying that you want these games to be made better, not that they're the apex of gaming and they need to be brought back into the cycle.
Right, exactly. I'm not you'll never hear me championing Donkey Kong 64 as the best game ever because
blessing OKBeast, youtube.com/OKBeast. This man thinks that Donkey Kong 64 is the best game of all time. Everybody comment on his video and subscribe.
It's just it's just like that concept. Like you said, that concept has never been done before. That's the only 3D Donkey Kong game that we should tap into that again. And then obviously
and do it right.
Right, and that should be the only through line between the game I'm talking about and Donkey Kong 64. They're both 3D. Other than that, they can share no other comparisons ever, and I'll be okay. Because I'm not here to argue the quality of that. But yeah, thanks for your comment, and yeah. Speaking of more comments, Captain Toad, the only N64. Right, I know. Back in. The only N64 games I really want remakes are Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. I think Wind Waker HD has the best chance of being on the Switch. Switch's first Zelda remake as a port, but I've wanted the chance to play these two. Paper Mario being remade. Oh, I forgot I added that as well. Paper Mario being remade would be great too. Though I still kind of want Thousand Year Door remade more so. You guys keep adding these games. I'm talking about N64. We have a whole video.
I think I said Thousand Year Door on my video on the game.
We have a whole video dedicated to GameCube remasters for Switch. Go watch it. But most importantly,
we should probably put those at the beginning of these remaster videos of hey, I'm talking about this system.
Exactly.
We talked about 3 other ones on the video.
Yeah, I put your video on the top of the playlist. This is related to this so closely. So watch it. But most importantly, I'm okay with any of these as long as they're on the Switch and not the 3DS. I agree with that point.
Yeah, I agree.
Bury the 3DS and put them on Switch. But yeah, you guys keep making arguments about these GameCube games. My brother AJ did a video on the GameCube remasters that we want on Switch. So watch that video because he worked hard on it. And I'm pretty sure you did mention Thousand Year Door on that as well.
Yeah. I think I did.
Yeah, and Wind Waker HD.
I forget videos that I make the second that they're uploaded.
See now Wind Waker. It's a great game, but it's starting to creep into that whole. It's not nearly as much as Star Fox, but it's been remade. It's been HD'd already. I don't want that.
Yeah, they did it. I mean, they didn't. It's not like they did it too much.
Right.
They only did it once, but it's too soon.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. You got to let it marinate. You got to let it breathe a little bit. So yeah.
But I mean it was cool for the fact that the Wii U had access. The Wii U has access still to every Zelda game. With the exception of maybe the DS ones. I don't know if the DS ones are on there, but all the console mainline Zelda games are on Wii U now. Twilight Princess is there, Wind Waker's there, Ocarina's there. I think Majora's there. You can get Majora on the Wii eShop.
I think so. You can. Yep.
You can get pretty much every Zelda game on that one platform. So it'd be cool for that to happen.
We need to see. Well, I don't even want to throw my hat into because you guys keep talking about all these freaking other games, but I want to see if someone talking about Zelda kind of. I'd rather put Skyward Sword. I don't think we haven't seen Skyward Sword.
Yeah, we haven't gotten a Skyward Sword.
Right, I'd be cool with that. Yeah, that's something I'm rallying behind. We already got Twilight Princess,
and that's another one of remaster this because it wasn't as good as it should have been. So let's make it that. It's that. That's another one along those lines.
And speaking of another one along these lines, another comment along those lines. Pause rhythm. I wonder how modern Super Mario 64 would play. Odyssey got 3D Mario almost perfectly. Plus, it would help new gamers who started with Odyssey play the remaster. On the other hand, it's Super Mario 64. Would it be the same without Mario's floatiness? Let me scroll down a little bit. Freaking crap. Gonna cut this out. No matter what happens, the controls will need refined. It may not control the same as the other games. If I were Nintendo, I would remake Super Mario 64 as DLC for Odyssey. Odyssey got so much right, and it would simplify things to have Super Mario 64 as an expansion for Odyssey. Have $20 expansion with both 64 and Sunshine remake. Jeez, that's a lot. That's come on now. Then let it use.
That would be crazy if they did that for $20. Yeah,
that's ridiculous. I
think they would be like, they'd be smarter to do, like, especially since it's already ported and like up-resed, kinda. Mario Galaxy, and then just bundle all of them. And like, there's like people talking about and have been talking about it for a long time. With like, there's like a fake like box art made for it, or a couple of them, of like a Mario All Stars Pack 2 with all the 3D Mario games with the exception of Odyssey. Where it's like, and 3D World, I guess, which is kind of not 3D. I don't know. So like, you know, like Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, Galaxy 1 and 2, and one HD remake pack for $60.
Right.
I'd buy that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
100% buy that.
That'd be cool. So then he goes on to say, then let us use the flood in the base game. Am I pipe dreaming too much? Yes, you are. Then let us choose the physics and control scheme as we want for Mario. Now I'm overdoing it. Yes, you are. Yes, you definitely are overdoing it. Because that was crazy. But yeah, all that for $20, that'd be ridiculous.
That's not happening for $20.
Right,
I'd be down for. I mean, if they put it in Mario Odyssey, I'd be down for I'd be down for $20, you know. But like, I think it's more reasonable to expect them to do that for $20 each, you know, like to put Flood and Sunshine levels in there for $20, and then put 64 in there for $20.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that would make a lot more sense. Wario Land, what? Wario Land Gold Pyramid. Okay, that's a name. I'm afraid of a remastered Paper Mario would be horrible. Why is that? All of the original characters and enemies will be changed, and will be changed to all look the same. Character and enemy names would be removed. Everyone will now talk about how they are literally made out of paper.
Wait, what? I'm confused. I don't
know
what you're talking about.
Yeah, me too.
I have no clue what you're talking about, sir.
Yeah.
Expound.
Yeah, I think they're just worried about the aesthetic, and I guess.
I don't think it makes sense. It doesn't make any sense.
Speaking of not making sense, your video for this week. No, I'm joking. No, but I took some notes as I do. I have 4 notes here. Things you mentioned I wanted to just talk about. I like how you mentioned simple Pokemon design, going back to when you talked about how things people like as series develop, people think, okay, complexity is where it's at, but sometimes it's better just to go back to a nice sleek design and make things simple. Have people have that people like, I guess what spawned that idea as far as like, this would be a good idea if they made things more simple. Like what would
I was thinking of stuff like, and I wanted to put this analogy in the script, but I wanted to how I wanted to word it, I couldn't figure it out in time for the video to be done. I was trying to be all like wordy and stuff like that. But it's like the same idea as like Mickey Mouse, right? Like he's stampable. Like his design is very simple. It's literally just 3 circles, but you see those 3 circles, it's Mickey Mouse, right?
Right, exactly.
Those are usually the types of characters that really proliferate. It's rare for a character to like really blow up and them to have these like crazy intricate designs. And like I said in the video, that's not to say that intricate designs are bad. They're just not as memorable, so they don't last as long.
Right, is beauty and simplicity. Things like that stick in your mind. They don't have to be all complex and convoluted and crazy. It's kind of like jingles. Jingles are simple. You know, they get to the point, and you know, they stick in your head, and that's what they're there for. And that's a really good point. You know, yeah. So I that stuck out. I was like, that's a really good point. I like that. The simplistic design. I'm down for that all the way. Trainer rematches, and when you brought up the sense of the world feeling alive, great point, because like you said, like there are times, like even in the show back in the day, when people like when Ash would go against Gary or whatever, like he's grown, or having like NPCs like you know go through these changes, like you said, you want this trainer to be taller and have this maybe they
like even as the show went on, like long term, right, like season wise, right, Ash eventually parted ways from Misty and Brock, and it was all sad and stuff, and he went through the whole journey by himself, well, up until he met Brock again. But then when he found Brock again, Brock had a new outfit, and he didn't have all his Pokemon with him. Why is that? You know,
exactly,
he had, like, a new team
exactly,
and stuff like that.
like
and then they met with Misty again, and her outfit changed, and she had new Pokemon that she didn't have before, and then like it happens over and over again of like people change in this world, even though his age didn't change, the people in it change.
Right, and you brought up how like the seasons change, like you're giving us the illusion of time passing. So do it, like if you want to do it, really do it, and delve into this, and give us a like you said, like the sense of scale, the sense of the world being alive, and having the NPCs change. I was like, yes, I completely agree with that.
And I can understand. I mean, like I more so alluded to. I did say it verbatim, in a sense, but like I can understand why they haven't done it up until now, because it's not feasible to be like, all right, we're gonna have enough RAM allocated so that the game is gonna have this living, breathing world, and people are gonna have schedules and things to do. You know, like you can't do that on a DS. Or even a 3DS, and you darn sure couldn't do it on a Game Boy, you know, like
exactly.
So I can understand why they didn't do it, but guess what? The Switch has enough RAM to do it, so make it happen.
Right. And speaking of make it happen, my last note that I took, the 2 regions. Also agree on that. Because like you said, it doesn't have to be a whole like going through the motions. Okay, here's the 8 gyms. Here's the this that. If like you said, if you find a way to give us both these regions and add different ways of doing things, or having one be the traditional and have this other region be something else, it would just make so much sense.
Like
honestly.
you make one full-fledged region that takes all this design work and all this time and stuff like that, and then you like whittle it down to the most important thing for this region. Like pick one thing that's like, okay, this is the focus of this region, and it's smaller, and the scale isn't as big, and there's not as many people here, or whatever the case may be, to make it easier to make. But make like a region and a half if you have to.
Exactly.
That sort of thing. Because in a way, like, that's how Gen 2 was. Like, Kanto wasn't literally Pokemon Red and Blue again, like it was it was like scaled back in a lot of ways. I mean, not a lot of ways, but a fair enough amount of ways.
Right, exactly. Great. All in all, great video, bro. Can't wait for your next Pokemon video. Hurry up and make it next week.
I'm not doing it next week. I don't want to. I could.
Yeah, you want to space these ones out.
I could very easily, like, I could literally. I tweeted about this where it was like, every time I start a Pokemon video, I'm like, can I really, like, how many times can I talk about Pokemon and not repeat myself? And then I start writing this video, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, how is this 2,000 words? I'm literally just on Gen 2, and I meant to do all generations. I meant to do like ideas from Gen 1, Gen 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and stuff from Let's Go. And I wanted to do that all in one video. It ain't gonna happen.
You're passionate about it. You're passionate about it. Makes sense.
I can do like 1 and 2. Like, I wouldn't be able to fit 3 and 4 in one video. It's not going to happen. So 3 is going to be its own video. 4 is going to be its own video. But 1 and 2 are easier because a lot of it is like I said in the video, like they really the iconic things from them kind of morphed into other games that improve those things. Even like the stuff that I mentioned, like trainer rematches and stuff, like they kind of improved since Gen 2. But I mean, at the end of the day, they didn't improve enough to be like, okay, this is fine, or enough to say like, okay, I'll get to this then, Because like if I were to talk, like say I were to talk about weather, right? Like I couldn't really talk about weather in the context of Gen 2 because Gen 2 doesn't have all of the weather. It just has like I believe like what, hail and rain maybe.
Yeah, hail and rain.
Think it has like I don't think it has sandstorms and stuff like I don't think it has all the weather effects. Could be wrong on the sandstorms thing. Let me know. But yeah, it's since changed, and I think that it makes more sense to talk about weather in Gen 3. You know, like so it's like stuff like that.
Okay, and all right. So I want to get into to these comments here. Or rather, I want to get into these essays.
I only pulled. I mean, I might have pulled too many comments from my video. I pulled 2, and they were both like. I mean, I liked them a lot, but they're very long. If you wanna drop the second one, then that would be cool. But it depends on how long we go off on the first one.
All right. So Michael Mulligan says. Gen 1's biggest contribution that gets left by the wayside as the series evolved was exploration. In Gen 1, after completing Rock Tunnel, you can do the rest of the game in any order you like up until Giovanni's Gym. To do this, we need to reintroduce the concept of HMs, but instead of having them take up a move slot on a Pokemon or be a rider or whatever, have the HM be a part of the Pokemon's natural abilities that you are taught how to teach them at various places in the game. Let me explain this a bit. You and Charmander are walking through the woods on Route 2, and you see a bush that you can't get past blocking the path. Okay, that happened to all of us. A few routes later, you meet a guy that will teach you how to teach your Charmander how to claw down a bush, as well as other Pokemon with claws. You go back to that bush and open it up, accessing a new route, town, gym, etc. Or you just keep going straight and tear down a different bush. Later on, a guy teaches you water gun, teaches your water Pokemon how to swim, your flying Pokemon how to fly, etc., so on. So now, instead of having HMs and HM slaves and ride Pokemon that aren't really your Pokemon, you just unlock a Pokemon's natural ability to do these things on your own. And a Pokemon isn't limited to just one ability, but can learn many. Yes, you'd still be required to have a certain type of Pokemon on your team to get you around and through certain areas, but that's what exploration is all about. Sometimes you can't bring your main 6 Pokemon with you. Sometimes you got to bring level 3 Goldeen that can cross the river. Make the terrain multi-tiered as well. This is something that Gen 4 Gold and Silver games experimented with, and rock climbing, and then it got dropped. Let's go back to the woods on Route 2. When you first get there, you're just able to walk on the ground. Later, you learn how to climb trees, so you can go back, climb a tree instead of on a Pidgey. And Caterpies, you find Butterfrees and Pidgeotos. Not too impressive, no. But later, you learn how to fly. You can come back with the Pidgeotos and Slivers living on the tippy tops of the trees you couldn't get to before. There will be mountains that you couldn't have climbed before, water you couldn't dive deep enough into before, a cave that you couldn't explore thoroughly enough before, etc., etc. This is a great comment. Let me
that's why I pulled it.
Right.
It was worth it.
Michael Mulligan, great comment. Honestly, all those ideas are crazy because it makes you feel as though and like you said, you know, it would give you a reason to like you said, you don't have your main 6 Pokemon. And that's okay. You know, you have to it forces you to use other Pokemon, use their natural abilities in order to get to.
Or it just forces you to have team balance. You know, because like if you don't have Pokemon that can do all of those things, you probably should. You know, right? Like you probably should be able to do that. And the one addendum that I would make to this is make it less of a thing of like, and the guy had to teach my Pidgeot how to fly. You know, like Pidgeot knows how to fly. It should be less of that, more of like, as the Pokemon grows, it gains that ability naturally, because in a lot of ways, like the game kind of polices you anyway, where it's like, okay, chances are you're not going to have a Pidgeot when you're at this part of the game, you know, like that sort of thing. So it's like only Pokemon of certain sizes should be able to fly with you or whatever, right? Or certain abilities like Flash are just innate with a Pokemon like a Charizard, like a Charmander or whatever, right? Because he has fire on his tail, so it's like you can see because of that. But like when he evolves, maybe the flash gets bigger and stuff like that, rather than like making it an HM but not an HM. Have it just be this innate ability that only works when your Pokemon is mature enough to do it. And not mature like I can watch adult movies now, but like mature in the sense of like, okay, you're like your bone structure is
right
to carry me and like or whatever, right? Like stuff like that. Like have the Pokemon that you can, and like make sure that when you get to water, the Pokemon that you can catch in that water, if you don't want people to be able to surf, can't surf right away, right? Like fill that water when you have Old Rod and you're here or whatever, right? Like you can only catch Magikarp and they can't surf, you know, like that sort of thing.
Right.
Or just like, which I don't like this idea, but like have it be a thing of like when they learn a certain attack, like when they learn surf. I don't like that because I don't like HMs. I think HMs are stupid, and I agree with the idea of like the Pokemon just being able to do it because that's what the Pokemon is.
Right, exactly.
It's in the nature, right? Some sort of way to like naturally police what you're doing when, because they don't want you to break the game and be able to surf / fly anywhere.
Right,
I think
exactly.
That's the best way to do it.
Right. Yeah, there has to be some way to set parameters because, like you said, you don't want to have to be a thing of like, oh, just level. You're leveling. You got this. And then all of a sudden you can like, you know. Because like if you can just do it by grinding, you grind and all of a sudden you can get to places you couldn't get to. Yeah, exactly. It's like there has to be like some kind of different like type of beats that go along with like you like with your Pokemon's nature, and then having them learn these things naturally, and then all of a sudden you know, maybe they could even like have it where like, okay, your Pokemon has like a kinship with you, like they're you guys are really cool. Where I don't know how that.
Yeah, like all right, or like you can only fly a certain distance if your Charizard doesn't like you, right?
Right,
like,
exactly,
right,
exactly.
You gotta go, you know, like that sort of thing.
Right.
Or like he's harder to fly, or like because they do put those things into play, and it makes sense in the world of Pokemon, right? Like nobody ever questioned like, I guess this Pokemon doesn't obey me, you know? Like it makes sense that a Pokemon that is not originally yours and you caught it and it's way stronger than any Pokemon you've ever encountered before, why would it listen to you, right? Like you didn't gain its respect because you're not its trainer, you didn't catch it, you didn't raise it, but you're using it, and it's just gonna like, no, like I'm a Charizard. Like, I'm not listening to you, child. You have 3 badges. You know, it's like,
yeah.
Granted, I think a Charizard would listen to somebody with 3 badges, but I digress.
Right. Yeah, it's all about just taking what they've already like kind of done and just like, you know, going more in depth with something like that. But yeah, all in all, great comment.
But yeah, like I said, I mean, we have time. We're only like an hour into the podcast.
Yeah, we got time. Science back again for another guy. Okay, the freaking making a double appearance.
Science makes good like comments, you know, like,
right? Yeah, exactly.
These nice, meaty, like well thought out comments, and just like the comment from Michael. Those are the comments that I really like reading and including on the show. So, you know, if you got something to say it. And we'll read it on the show.
Scientists, I think for the NPCs, it would be nice to see something like Majora's Mask NPC schedules mixed with the Shadow of Mordor system, where each NPC would be a minor character and would be influenced by your actions. So that's very nice. They can become your rivals too, a gym leader or anything. Say that if he is a swimmer and gets beaten up by your Raichu, you could find him backpacking a Mount Moon and going there by foot, stopping on the towns. And once he gets there, he'd start looking for a strong ground type. There would be there'd be a lot less trainers. Around 60 or 90, you wouldn't be able to get to know every one of them. You would have to be curious and find out about them, and they should be given memorable nicknames like Ace Attorney. For the sake of comparison, each NPC would have around the same level of memorability to that of Cass or Bison of Breath of the Wild, or any minor character in a Gen 1 anime. Also, you wouldn't have to determine a rival, and the world could have. Oh, that's okay. And the world could happen besides what you are seeing and doing, like Majora's Mask. However, with less trainers, there will be more strong Pokemon encounters that happen outside of the tall grass and give you money. This could leave a more wild region where there are strong Pokemon and trainers. It could even lead to more dangerous region. Maybe could be based on Australia, since there are a lot of dangerous animals there. I like it. I like, as far as like your experience and what you do in the world affecting who your rivals are and what NPCs play a role in your story.
Yeah, I like that. The thing, I don't know if that would require less trainers. I think that a lot of that stuff of like, oh, this trainer lost because of this, a lot of that can be done with, you know, algorithms and like, you know, procedurally generated stuff, you know, where it's like, oh, well, clearly I know you use a thunder type Pokemon and that's all you use to beat me, so clearly I have this thunder weakness, so, you know, I'm gonna go and get blah blah blah. And then you just do like the No Man's Sky thing of like, all right, we'll just throw all these like features of like not like game features, but like facial features and like clothes and stuff like that. We'll throw all these in a pot, and then depending on what they're doing, where they're doing it at, that's how they'll be, you know, where it's like, okay, this is what hiker John looks like if he decides he wants to be a swimmer now, you know, like that sort of thing. So like, yeah, overall, like the idea, I just don't think that it necessarily needs to be pared back that noticeably, where it's like, because even if the Pokemon in the wild are stronger, it still feels more monotonous than battling a trainer. And even trainers can be annoying, where it's like, all right, I just want to get to the store. Like, I don't feel like battling you. I don't need to battle you, but I have to anyway, because that's just how the game works.
Yeah, it definitely yeah, I feel like if they found a way to incorporate that and made it so where like you said, there doesn't have to be a lack of trainers, because at the end of the day, like, that just make the world feel empty if they have a lot less trainers in it. I'm like, you know, we want this game to feel big and feel grand in scope, and having a lot less trainers, that would just make it feel like, okay, you have a wide town, and it's like, you know, like, and yeah, I think you gotta think about it in the world of Pokemon. And Pokemon, like, being a trainer, that's everything. So if I'm walking around and I see, like, it's like I'm not seeing any trainers, I'm like, what's going on? Like, well, we in the, it's like, is this the age we're in right now? Is it like, are Pokemon's or trainers, are they dying out?
Yeah,
like,
is it the Breath of the Wild of Pokemon? Did everybody die or something? What's going on?
Right, exactly. Like, yeah. So I think there is a way to, you know, give the quantity of trainers and also have that like in depth algorithm that's like, okay,
quantity,
well, you know,
and quality.
Exactly. So you don't got to sacrifice, but all in all, good comment, Cyan. So thank you for your freaking double input. We appreciate it. And speaking of appreciate it, guys, Q&A, the Q&A section. Make sure you ask your questions on the Discord or the YouTube community tab, and you know we'll pick them. We'll pick them and we'll discuss them and talk about them and give you a little bit of shout outs on these episodes. That way you feel more a part of the show and just the channel in general. But start kicking off, we have Old School Lou. They say, if Nintendo has more for 2018, will it be any of the first party big hitters we're expecting, like Metroid, Animal Crossing, or will it be third party titles that have been rumored and never materialized, like GTA 5? Also, will we get Doom Eternal on Switch? I really hope so. Just to answer the first part, no, we will not see Metroid or Animal Crossing this year.
Yeah, no, that's
not at all.
Well, I wouldn't be shocked. It would be dumb, but I wouldn't be shocked to see Animal Crossing. I would be shocked to see Metroid. It doesn't really make sense for them to give us Metroid when we didn't even see it at E3. That doesn't make any sense. I think that Animal Crossing, like, it does seem like the type of game where it's like, because you don't need to tease Animal Crossing.
Right.
It's, hey, Animal Crossing's here. It's out.
Yeah. Right.
You know, Like you don't need this whole like lead up to it, right? It's not Smash Brothers where like you're posting screenshots like here's Isabelle in the town hall. You know, it's like you don't need that. It's just, hey, here's a trailer. It's coming out 3 months from now. Buy it. You know.
I don't think Nintendo really needs much more for 2018. Honestly,
I mean, but we know that we're getting it. They already announced that they have more first party titles to announce between now and the fall. So we'll get something, but I don't know if it's going to be anything like huge. You know, like I think it's going to be like a smaller like more not in the sense of like the weight that it has now because of like the position that it has in the Nintendo community, but something like a F-Zero where it's like it's not a AAA game, but it's not it's like a AA sort of situation. I think we'll get stuff like that, like a Captain Toad or like not literally Captain Toad, but you know, like that type of game where it's like it's kind of recognizable but not this huge like big budget thing. I think we'll see more of that. I think that there is chance that we'll see some third-party stuff that is like the Dooms of the world, right? Where it's like, oh man, like I mean, I expected it, but most people didn't, you know, like that sort of thing. Like GTA, like I could see that. I could see stuff like that happening this fall.
Yeah, I wouldn't rule out Doom Eternal. I wouldn't rule something like that out. I wouldn't rule that out.
I'm hesitant on whether or not they're going to do Doom Eternal. At least at launch, because I don't think Panic Button's working on it. I think Panic Button specifically said that they're not. Granted, they could be lying. They could be big fat liars.
Right, exactly. You never know. It's like we're not working on it. All of a sudden, freaking it just dropped, and then
because I think it's still done in the id Tech engine, and those engines are like, I mean, that engine is really flexible. You can scale it down and scale it up and do all types of fun stuff.
Yeah, so definitely it's possible. So don't rule out the third parties. Don't rule them out. And we're not ruling out any more of these other questions because we're adding them on. Crazy Derp. Oh, come on. Crazy Derp says, I love your podcast because I listen to them while I work. Thank you. My favorite part is when you completely sidetrack and talk about real life stories. I would definitely subscribe to the podcast channel. And my question is, people said in 2017 that people will be fine with Nintendo if they release a Smash Bros. Game and a Pokemon game in 2018 and nothing else. While they brought Smash, they sort of failed with the Pokemon game this year to a majority of people. So even though fans just wanted Pokemon and Smash this year, did we get basically both games, or did they get cheated out of the big game this year because it's just Pokemon?
I think that a lot of people, because like they're more on the core side, you know, where it's like I'm diehard Pokemon and I only want to play Pokemon like this, right? They're really underestimating how well this game's going to do. Like Justin specifically, it's like
right. That's immediately who I thought of when you said that.
Right, like when that game first got announced, he's like, "Oh, this is gonna like it's a spin-off. Pokemon spin-offs don't sell well. It's going to sell like Coliseum and all that other stuff." Meanwhile, it's number 1 on Amazon, number 1 and 2. Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. Like it's like this game is going to sell like crazy. It's not going. I don't think it's going to sell as well as the mainline game will, and that's not because it's a mainline game per se, but because of the hype that Let's Go will garner. People are still going to be high on Pokemon, and then you'll have the core fans. They'll be like, oh, I guess I'll buy it now, you know, like that sort of thing. Granted, there's going to be a lot of core fans that say they don't want Pokemon Let's Go, but they're going to buy it anyway.
I'm completely not empathetic or sympathetic to anyone that's complaining about the Let's Go Pokemon games. As far as like no one's being cheated. It's not the Pokemon game that you expected, but it's not like the core that you wanted. But that is coming, and it's not much. It's not that much of a you know, it doesn't diverge that much from the core.
Basically, what he's saying is it's not Star Fox Grand Prix.
Thank you. I didn't want to mention it, but thank you. Like I have genuine. Listen,
that was some passive aggressive stuff. I knew it was exactly what you were talking about. Like exactly what you were getting at.
I have genuine reason to rage. Genuine. You guys are complaining about a game. It's like what? What do you? There's no reason to be upset about this. This is going to do well. This is going to play well. Like I really don't get it.
I would somewhat understand, even though nobody is like owed the game that they want, you know, like that's not how this works. If the game you want isn't the game you're getting, then just don't buy it, and that's just how like transactions work, you know.
Right.
But if this was just a game of like it's Pokemon Go and battles work like Pokemon Go and trading works like Pokemon Go and everything is just Pokemon Go, rather than it being catching the Pokemon, the worst part of the game, arguably, like in terms of like the act of doing it, the most annoying part of the game, the wild encounters and all that stuff, we're changing that. I'm fine with that. I'm cool with that, you know, as long as they weren't like, as long as they didn't do the thing of like, it's Pokemon Go and you tap the battle and you swipe to dodge and stuff like that. Like I wouldn't be cool with that. But them being like, okay, we're changing how you catch Pokemon. Even if like I know like people, well, one person, I think it was Colin. Colin is a more he's a regular. I think he commented about not wanting motion controls in the full game. And I'm like, I would be cool with motion controls as long as they're not like required and they were in addition to like how like catching Pokemon already worked for the sake of the mainline game, right? Where it's like, if it's like, okay, time to throw the Pokeball and it's like you have the option to throw it like Pokemon Go, I'd be cool with that, you know? Like after weakening the Pokemon. Sign me up for that, you know?
Though I think this game would do, I mean, though I know this game would do well and sell well, I think this game will be looked upon like in like when everything's all done, we're looking at this in hindsight, people are gonna be like, I like that game. But it's that people are so critical of it now because it's not the game they want. But when next year when the game comes out that they actually want, they're like, you know what? Let's go. I'm gonna get that game too. Like it's just like
yeah.
Right, exactly. It's like you know that game wasn't that bad. Like because like
it's not like people. Well, not the majority. I don't want to say people because people makes it sound like it's the majority. The diehard fans act as if this is Federation Force, but it's Metroid Fusion. It's you get Metroid Prime, and you also get this 2D Metroid game, you know, like,
exactly.
You get, or I mean, it's more accurate to now. It's Metroid: Samus Returns. That's the game that this is. It's like, okay, here's this this little smaller thing that we're gonna do. It's kind of like the thing that you like. It's Pokemon on Switch, but you'll get the big deal thing later. Because like, there's no way that Game Freak, which is like, I mean, they make a good game and they make a lot of money, but at the end of the day, like they're not the biggest studio. I mean, granted, that's more so by choice than it is by like their lot in life, right? Like it's not like Game Freak is like, how could we ever get more people wanting to work for our studio, you know?
Right, exactly.
It's just by their nature, they're smaller and they're not as capable as some other devs. So they wouldn't be able to like spin out this like big budget, like crazy console Pokemon game because it's their first time ever making a core Pokemon game on consoles. First time making a Pokemon game on consoles since what? Like, I don't even think they fully developed this, but I think they had a hand in Pokemon Stadium. Like they don't develop console Pokemon games, and not only are they jumping from handheld to console, they're jumping from a standard definition handheld to an HD console. Like, you know, like come on, like give them a break.
Exactly.
They need more time to do this thing.
Like, I don't know that's exactly know the climate back then, like as far as like what Pokemon was, and I don't know like as far as back whenever like Snap and all these other like there's been so many like these games that were just completely different, and people like look back on like people love Pokemon Snap, you know, people love all these older games, and it's like there was such a departure from what the traditional Pokemon is. And this is
I want to go back in time and see what people were reacting to. Hey, you Pikachu!
Exactly. We're not getting. I could see people's upset if we were getting something like that. I could see.
Yeah, if Hey, you Pikachu was Pokemon Switch. You know,
right? This is not that much of a difference as far as like it. I come on. I don't know. You guys just be spoiled.
Be reasonable.
Exactly. Like me and the rest, I'm speaking for the Star Fox community right here. Like, come on. It's ridiculous.
I think it's Logan's fault that Retro's getting closed down. No, they're not. Well, we don't know that for sure. I wanted to talk about that on this. That was going to be one of the main topics because there's a lot of weird stuff going on with Nintendo right now. Where it's like a bunch of highs and lows, where it's like the Switch just sold 4.5 million units in Japan, but their stock is down 5%, you know, like stuff like that. And they're like, oh, they have a new president. He's the highest rating president since before the last one. but you know, retro studios might be closing down, you know, stuff like that. It's like weird highs and lows. But I ended up not doing that because the Amiibo thing was more interesting.
Right.
So yeah.
Speaking of more interesting, we got more interesting comments. We're not saying more interesting than your last comment, but I'm saying they're all interesting. And this is another one. Carlos Lasanta, yes. What do you think the chances are of Nintendo incorporating Labo into the Paper Mario game? That's I think it'd be freaking very high. Cause
I can see them doing that. That would be crazy if they didn't.
Right. There's just the aesthetic works.
Unless Labo crashes and burns.
Right. Right. Unless what we said earlier.
I can see us getting a Paper Mario game now.
That's what I was saying.
Surprised by that.
Exactly.
No, but I mean, like this holiday, like the games that they're saying that they might announce between now and then, because it's not like a crazy big game.
It's not like that's true.
Maybe that's why Intelligent Systems push back Fire Emblem, because they're like, we're going to work on Paper Mario first. No, that's not why they did it. But yeah. I would I'd be shocked if they didn't do that, unless Labo's not around anymore by the time Mario Kart comes. Paper Mario.
So I got
there's too many Mario games.
So Carlos, on that we'll just say time will tell. Adam KH, do you think because we only heard about the new characters in Smash and mechanics, that means we will get another direct that gives us a blowout with tons of information about things like stages and modes? Yeah, yeah. I mean, we
100% will.
Right. I right now I want to see what the core looks like as far as the game. The characters, I'm excited that everyone's coming back. Excited, but it's like
don't. I mean, I honestly hope that, especially if there's like a lot more to it, right? Like I hope we don't get a Smash Direct. I don't want it. Because I want, leave some type of surprise. Like, you know how dope it would have been if they would have just announced, the starting roster, right? Like, this is a starting roster, and you get to unlock Ridley and Pichu, and, just dole out the everybody's here thing, right? And then, when the game comes out, oh, shoot, I just unlocked Snake. That's crazy that he's back. Oh, what? Wolf's back? What?
Right,
Ridley's in this game?
Exactly.
But so far, it seems like we're not going to have any of those surprises, and they could have definitely did that. Even if they don't do a lot of new characters, it would have been a huge surprise for everybody to unlock Snake, and not already know about him. That's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot.
There's a big chance that would be ruined early for people that are really on the internet, because people would really dig into this game and do data mining and stuff.
The data miners would get to it.
But not everybody's gonna pay attention to that scene, right? I think that they kind of robbed us of that hype. And I'm a big proponent of I don't necessarily get bummed out by leaks, where people are like, stop leaking stuff, blah blah, ruins the surprise. If it's not if it's just one thing, right, where it's Fortnite's coming to Switch, okay, that's one thing. But with Smash Brothers, where you're blowing out the whole game, where if were they not to blow out the entire game and give us all these character information, that's robbing us of many smaller surprises, right? Whereas with the big blowout, it was tiring for me. I was like, I'm done seeing Smash. Show me something else,
Exactly.
Okay, I'm sold. I don't need 30 minutes to sell me on Smash. Show me Smash for 15 minutes and I'm good. I don't need to see it for 30 minutes in the direct. And 11 streams.
Yeah, they spent way too much time on Smash this E3.
And they're going to spend even more time on it. I just give me surprises, okay? Just give me surprises, and let me find them in the game.
Yeah, exactly.
And if that surprise is Smash Tour, I'm taking the game back to the store. Even though I'm probably not going to get it from a store, I'm probably going to get it from Nintendo. Nintendo, email me.
Hashtag internet ruined Smash surprises. No, but remember back in the day when Melee was out and you just were surprised, and Mewtwo was a genuine surprise.
Yeah, I was like, what? That's crazy.
Like you just not getting that anymore. I remember when Brawl came out.
Unless you're Jess. Like if you're Jess, everybody go subscribe. YouTube.com/JustJess with 3 S's. If you're Jess, then you get those surprises because she's like guarded. You know, she's like, I'm not looking at the internet.
Right? Yeah, she has the top security because I was like, she's like, guard me from this. I don't want to even say anything about it.
Yeah, so it's like, I envy that because I wish I had surprises, you know, where it's like I could never do a react channel because I already know about this stuff way before, and like I'm to the point where it's like even if I don't know it for sure, it's still not like I still am like this is probably gonna happen. Like this Smash Brothers thing, for instance, right? When they announced Smash Brothers and it was the inkling, I literally made a video about, and this was years before, like this is 2015 fanatixfour, right? This is year 1, like week 3 of fanatixfour. I'm like, they want to play Inkling and Smash, you know? Right. Where it's like this is the sort of stuff that's like when they announce it, it's like, okay, I already knew that was going to happen, right? Like I'm not at the point anymore where it's like they announce something and it's like, what? Like I never saw that coming.
Right,
never
exactly.
Never would have called that, right? Like I can't really think of an announcement as of late that I wouldn't have called. Maybe, well, had it not been spoiled beforehand, I wouldn't have called like Mario plus Rabbids, you know, like, but pretty much every other announcement, like you can like read the tea leaves and like realize that it was coming.
Right, exactly. And you guys can realize that this podcast is coming to an end. That's all we got. Thank you guys again for participating every single week and commenting and leaving your questions and things that you want to say to us because we appreciate it. And thanks you guys for your comments because they help us get your reactions about the video and what you guys think, and your ideas are awesome. AJ, final thoughts?
We haven't done this in a long time.
I know. We've been having Justin and other guests.
Yeah, time flies when you're eating flies.
That's right. Time flies when you're eating flies.
What?
That's what happens.
All right.
Oh, you said eating fries. That's like he's eating flies.
No, I said flies. Oh,
jeez. Okay. All right, guys. Bye.
As always.
As always.
You do as always.
As always. Kiss your mother, or your freaking love your friends and love
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Love fanatixfour forever.
As always, like, comment, subscribe.
Goodbye.